Hi, and welcome back to Better You. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson, and do I have a treat for you? And oh my God, I am so excited about my show tonight. I have all these handsome men around me, and this is a first. Thank you guys for coming to visit me.
Glad to be here.
And I'm so glad you're here because there's a topic I've been wanting to talk about. But before I share with my viewers what we're going to be talking about, I want you to introduce yourselves to them. Let's start with you.
My name is Melvin Wallace. I'm a native of Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been working. I moved back to Charlotte in 2007, and it's a great pleasure to be back home to see the things that's going on in Charlotte, all the changes that's going on. I'm just proud to be able to be back here and work. I'm married and have a young son that's 14 years old, and I'm proud to be in this life and do some things with him, especially being back home.
And you, sir?
And I'm Eric Miller. I'm a native of Charlotte also. I'm honored to serve as the pastor of Trinity Park Baptist Church. And just celebrated 11 years in December. And I'm happily married to my wife, Tony, and we have 3 adult children and 2 grandchildren.
And?
I'm Bradley. I'm another native from Charlotte. I'm a police officer here with the city of Charlotte. I'm assigned to Myers Park High School. Not married, but do have a little daughter. She's 22 years old, and she's the love of my life.
I'm Kevin McGriff, born and raised as well here in Charlotte. Spent 20 years in the Air Force, retired, and became a federal officer at the Federal Reserve. Been there for 14 years, married, with 4 kids.
Yeah. And last but not least.
Yeah, my name is Greg Tate. I'm a native Charlottean as well. I've been gone for 26 years. Had an opportunity to come back a couple of months ago. I'm married, 17 years, 2 sons, ages 13 and 16.
Wow, sounds like you all have your hands full at home. But anyway, what I want to talk about, what I've been dying to ask a group of men is the football craze. Why do we love football so much here? And the Carolina Panthers just had a chance to go to the Super Bowl a few months ago. So tell me, do you all like football?
I do. Football.
Love football.
Why is that? Tell me.
I think one thing this does is the unity it brings in from the people in the community. It takes away a lot of stress. A lot of people spend a lot of time together. You can go to different places, and if things are going well with the football team, you can tell it in the community. You can tell it in the stores. It brings back just a joyful atmosphere throughout the city that it's glad to be a part of. It's good to feel around there and seeing people being happy. To be honest, with my wife, to see her involved in football, to be so excited about what was going on. That's a change because it's not normal things she do, but to get people in your family involved in it as a group, I think it's a good thing. It's a good family thing to happen as well.
Anybody else like to share why they love football so much?
Well, I'll tell you, I think football is entertainment of one thing. Everyone loves to be entertained, and to see big guys out there running around fast as they can into each other, run into a brick wall, then all of a sudden stop, then one gets over a fence, he pushes the other guy off, running up and down the field. I'm thoroughly entertained by that.
Okay.
From my perspective, it's just one of those things. I played sports growing up, and then to be a part of the community that we have a winning franchise and everybody can get behind it, and then the fact that everybody can get involved from tailgating. If you can't afford to go in the game, you got an opportunity to tailgate. You can go to do things at home. It's just one of those things. And then the athletes that play the game, some of the best in the world. I mean, that's another thing you get to see every day. It's like unbelievable.
And I played football growing up. And,
really?
And to watch it now, from the Carolina Panthers perspective, it brings people together. It brings people together. It has an effect that when you're in the stadium and you get to see 70,000 people come together to cheer on the home team. And the unique thing about it is to watch other pro teams, how their teams travel. Because at one time, when the Panthers were not as good as they were this year, you would often see more. For example, you could often see more Green Bay Packers fans in the stands more than Panther fans. But now that the tide has changed, it's Carolina blue all the way.
One of the things that surprised me coming back here and moving back during football season, coming from Atlanta, although I was a Panthers fan in Atlanta, there's a difference. You know, Atlanta had successful seasons, went to the Super Bowl, but the air of excitement, it wasn't the same in Atlanta as it was here. I had no idea that the Panthers had the fan base that they had. So I was happy to see that, happy to be back home and be able to cheer for the home team at home. So this was I kind of felt like I was a Panthers lucky charm moving back to Charlotte. I brought this luck with me.
Right.
So when you say air of excitement, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's just, you know, everywhere you went, Bojangles. You know, we were 9 and Bo, and then we were 10 and Bo. Everybody got behind the team. Road signs, construction signs, Bo Panthers. It was all over the place. You know?
Yeah.
People would argue with you if you were to say anything negative about the Panthers. They were in love with the Panthers. We're going to go all the way. We're going to win the Super Bowl. No matter what a Panther player did or didn't do, we are the Panthers. We're getting ready to win the Super Bowl here. It was unreal trying to go around people that were Panther fans. I mean, they tell me, oh, man, you sometime with the Panther fans. You a bandwagon. Well, when they were losing 14-2, I just wasn't saying, I mean, 2-14, I should say. I just wasn't all over the place the way some people are. It doesn't matter whether they win or lose, who the quarterback is. It could be Jake Long, it could be Cam Newton. They love the Panthers.
It's something I did notice in the community and reading in the paper. The Panther fans are becoming fans. They hadn't really understood how to be a true fan, like Green Bay and some of the
Pittsburgh
some of the franchises have been around for 20, 30 years. But now they learn how to be a true fan, because sometimes they hate them, they fuss, they cuss. But now I notice they're really trying to understand how to be a true fan. That's to support them through thick and thin, and really support them. And I see that now. Like Eric was saying, used to see Green Bay Packers jerseys because the Panther fans sold their tickets. Now they're not selling them. They're going to watch the game. That's a big difference.
So that's what a true fan is, someone that's there.
True, and they're starting to learn how to be a true fan in North Carolina. South Carolina.
And they stay through the end of the game. You know, like I think you guys would agree that North Carolina has always been a college kind of state, college kind of state. But when we got the Panthers, the fans, if the product of the team wasn't winning, the fans would often leave at the third quarter and the fourth quarter, depending on what the margin of defeat looked like. But now they will stay to the end. I remember going to a game one time and we were playing Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh came back and took lead. And the fans started leaving, and there was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan sitting in front of me, and she turned around and asked my brother and I, why are the Panther fans leaving? And we were telling them that when we lose, they just flip. We just flip. And she said we would never do that. Yeah. She said she was a Pittsburgh fan from Pittsburgh. She said we would never do that. We stay to the very end. But now the Panther fans are staying to the very end. They're starting to learn to be real fans. Yes.
So when the season starts up this fall, do you think the Panther fans will stay the entire game, or will they leave?
Oh, yes.
They can't
you think
wait.
So?
People can't wait for football. Football Sundays, that is the best day of the week.
September preseason. That's when football really starts.
They're even counting the days down now.
That's when it starts, September.
They're counting days down now. I remember the last count was 232 days and counting. Of that nature.
Oh my God!
And so with the Panthers, you know, you have folk that are already looking forward to going down to Spartanburg for training camp, and when they get there, they, just like Greg was talking about, the fan base is extraordinary.
It's getting there. They most definitely getting there.
And people love winners.
Oh,
the Panthers are winners right now. So they will follow, they will care.
You know, let's take a short break. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the players on the Carolina Panthers team, okay?
Absolutely.
Welcome back to Better You. I'm here surrounded by these handsome men, and they're educating me about football. And I guess I'll start watching the game, but I'll need somebody to teach me everything. Let's talk about the players on that Panthers team. Do you think we really have a good team?
We have the nucleus of a good team. We have an unbelievable offense, an unbelievable defense, unbelievable special teams. Everybody's playing extremely well right now. Now, will they be able to keep them next year? And it's always a money issue when it comes to athletics. And we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
So we're missing a couple of key players, and like a receiver. Our rookie receiver that we had last year, Benjamin, was in this. He was getting there, but he had a season-ending injury, and he was out. And then we have a good, like my friends, who was some JUCO players. They was average, but yeah, they had to step up. And sometimes they didn't step up, and it hurt us in the Super Bowl because some drop passes. But I think we need a couple of key players. We there, but we always have to have those players that's willing to step up and have the opportunity to make sure they produce when they have the opportunity.
And it's key to have a good quarterback. A quarterback can make average players look better. Cam makes those JUCO players he was talking about look a whole lot better than just your average JUCO player. Those receivers, they dropped a few balls, but Ben Wickery, what was the other one? Funches, Brown. Those guys made some unbelievable plays for us and carried us this year.
I think it's would be hard to argue that we don't have the best team. We're not the Super Bowl champs, but I think it'd be hard to argue that we don't have the best team in the NFL. Before the Super Bowl, you go back to the last quarter of last season, we won 21 out of 23 games. It's hard to do that in the NFL.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of parity in the NFL.
At that level.
I think we won every preseason game this year.
Really?
You don't do that often.
No.
That doesn't happen often. That's a sign of a dominant team.
So what happened with that one game we lost?
You're not going to win them all.
No,
Yeah.
you're not.
Why not?
That's good wishful thinking, if you will. But at the level that these guys are playing,
it's hard.
these young men are playing, it's very challenging to go undefeated in the pro level. It hadn't happened since '72 when the Dolphins did it.
Right.
People have come close, but close only counts in horseshoes and grenades. But these guys have an internal nucleus in the locker room, and they enjoy each other after practice. And the whole art of it is to try to keep them together in spite of contracts, because these guys want to win. If they don't chase the dollar and chase the Lombardi Trophy, they'll get paid.
Keep that nucleus together.
Yeah, they'll get paid, and they enjoy the owner. We all benefit from an owner, Mr. Richardson, who is a South Carolina native, and he's a family man. He loves people, and he's a hands-on owner. Matter of fact, you all probably saw him when he went in the locker room and dabbed that one game. Every owner wouldn't do that. So it's a nice little nucleus inside the locker room and outside the locker room. And this team is starting to really enjoy playing the game and enjoying one another.
They believe in themselves.
Absolutely.
You haven't seen that before. They believe. I mean, if you put player to player, they were not the best matchup, but every game they proved that they were better. And that's the difference of a good team. I mean, you look at those players, but they went in and they won. What was it? 16-0 before they lost their first game against Atlanta. I mean,
Atlanta.
Who does that with that type of team? You wouldn't have thought that in a million years.
Oh, really?
But they proved everybody wrong because they, like Eric said, they played, they had heart, they had good ownership behind them, and they put it together. And it was awesome.
And you ask why they lose that one game. Pride is why they lost. The Atlanta team had just come to us like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, we beat them.
Beat them bad. Embarrassed them here in Charlotte. That team.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so we had to go to Atlanta. It's a home and away. And when we went down to Atlanta, those boys were ready. They're like, we're professionals, just like you guys are
They're going to give you
professionals.
anything. They don't give you nothing.
And you just embarrassed them here in Charlotte. You get down to Atlanta, you pretty much overlook them. Probably didn't practice as hard as you should have the week before. You get down there and think there's going to be another cakewalk, and lo and behold, Atlanta showed up.
But I think it all started with Cam. When you got a dynamic quarterback like that, somebody that he does play with a lot of confidence, but it breeds confidence for the other guys that may not feel like they're as good. But I think it all started with Cam, and you just can't beat that. When you look around, and I start talking about franchise quarterback, and when you have one, you better keep him. I know
That's
right
as good as you get.
They start with the quarterback. If you look at all the teams that go far in the playoffs or go far in the league, first you start the quarterback. They probably got one of the top quarterbacks in the league to be at that level. So,
But weren't our other quarterbacks good too?
They weren't Cam Newton.
No, they weren't when they rolled. No,
they need a lot more help.
Yeah.
I can do it for a player too. I can do it for a player too, but I don't think
It's a big
it takes
difference.
a different breed.
big difference.
And you asked about why did they lose that game?
Yeah.
Because again, it really boils down. There was a movie came out several years ago. Jamie Foxx was in it. Al Pacino on Any Given Sunday, and that is true. On any given Sunday, you will lose a game. It doesn't matter. You can blame it on coaching, players. You can blame it on whatever. But on any given Sunday, the best team, do you think or whatever has the numbers, you can lose.
Is Cam Newton the youngest quarterback?
No,
He's not the youngest.
Oh, he's not?
he's 26.
Yeah, he's been in the league 3 years, so he wouldn't be the youngest.
Yeah.
He's been in 5.
5 years.
This is 5th year.
Yeah, he's 26.
Right,
Yeah.
5th year.
This is 5th.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes a difference with him being so young?
Experience helps.
Experience
Experience helps
It
in the
does.
game.
At the level that they
That they're
going
playing.
to,
But he's stepping up. He's growing with each week. He grew with maturity and at leadership. We saw it right before our eyes.
Right.
He evolved into an awesome leader. He took that team from that first practice with the fight. Him and Josh Norman, one of the other star on defense, they had a knockout fight in practice. But guess what? They came together when the season got started, and they put everything behind him and led that team.
And all the obstacles that he's had, from the ankle surgery to the car wreck to the fight at practice, it kind of galvanized the whole group and coming together. And so when you look at the success of the team having 3 conference championship or division championship wins, and then this year with the record they had ended up being 17-2, and they had 10 players to make the Pro Bowl and 3 alternates. So you're literally looking at 13 players made the Pro Bowl off one team. So that's unheard
There's a
of.
lot for that team. That just the fan votes for the Pro Bowls. That's
they do?
It's not only North Carolina, South Carolina. They let you know that nationwide they look at that team as like, wow, they're great, and they recognize them.
Oh.
Right.
That's where it goes back to that awesome team we got: defense, offense, and special teams. Those players that made the Pro Bowl, they were from all 3 facets of the team.
So the defense, they go out
forward.
there.
And stop the whole
They go out there and stop the other team from getting it, from scoring. Yes.
And the offense out there when Cam is out there.
He's
right?
He's
Score.
trying to score.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're designed to score the points, but the defense can score too if they create a
Awesome
turnover.
defense.
Okay.
And they ranked the defenses from 28 teams in the league. They ranked
32
teams in the league. Well, the Panthers were the number 2 defense in the league.
Oh,
this year.
really?
Yes, unbelievable defense. Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly,
Oh my goodness, he's one of
and
Kuechly is awesome.
Josh Norman. I mean, this guy just came out of nowhere this year and just turned himself into a
Contract year.
yes.
Oh, this was his first year?
No, it's
Not his first year. He just
Third
had an
year.
unbelievable year. No one could catch a
Third
pass
year,
around.
4th year, but it becomes a contract year. So to have that type of number to put up, it makes itself like, hey, pay me. Show me the money.
Increase in value.
Yeah, that's good.
Normally, when you have a team that goes that far, a lot of guys want to get paid because you only have a few times in your career where you had opportunity to get paid.
Yes.
And when you have a winning team, either free agents, other teams like to pick them up, or you have to pay them. So sometimes you lose some guys because of the money that they can get from other teams.
But the flip side of that is you got players be somewhere else that's not really on a good team, but this opportunity for them to win, and they can look at this type of team. They might be that missing piece of the puzzle.
Right.
They will they can take
here.
loss of money and come here and play.
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh.
That's what they do.
Absolutely.
They put, I can pay with Cam, and they can like be a veteran who like got a couple years left in his in his career. I can come there and win, and they benefit from that.
Roman Harper
You see,
and Charles
by
Tillman
Cam.
are examples of that.
By Cam being such a young quarterback, we got a lot of Super Bowls we're going to get to. So we might not have gotten this one.
There you go.
We'll be back.
Oh yeah, we're not
Okay.
done. Just
We'll
started.
be back.
Just
You know,
started.
let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that Super Bowl game. Okay?
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Hi, and welcome back to Better. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson. I'm here, and I'm being educated on football, and they're telling me how exciting it is on the break, but I'm almost there. Maybe I'll start watching the season coming up, okay?
Absolutely.
So before we took a break, I said we're going to talk about the Super Bowl game. Now, tell me what went wrong.
What went wrong is
Denver's defense.
I was just going to say,
Okay.
we told you that Carolina was number 2 defense. Didn't we? Well, guess what?
Denver
was number 1. That defense shut us down. And I think it had a lot to do with the hoopla that surrounds the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Some players can handle all of that, and some can't. I don't believe the Panthers, because clearly the Panthers were the better team. Offensively, defense, top to bottom. They were the better team. But for some odd reason, we just didn't play. When I say we, like I'm on the team, but they just
you out there too with your uniform
they
on.
just didn't play. They didn't play the game. That defense, they made that defense, even though it was number 1 defense, made them look like they were all world, like they were unstoppable. No one could penetrate that wall. They hurt our running back. The second, third series of the game, rolled his ankle. So once you stop the running game, now what do you have to do? You have to throw the ball. You got Cam trying to throw the ball. Now, he's an unbelievable quarterback, but throwing is not his expertise.
Yeah, he likes to run the ball.
He's an above average passer.
He's good. He's good. He's good.
Average,
but I didn't feel comfortable with them losing their running back.
Well, it's a situation where when they can key on the pass,
Exactly.
and you don't have that offset running game,
You got
Exactly.
because
you're one-dimensional.
run sets up the pass.
Yeah.
Now you're one-dimensional, and
one-dimensional. So that
again, you don't want to put the game on Cam's arm right now.
Well, I just think we're not having. I think not having that top flight receiver came back to hunt us finally at the back end.
I agree.
I've seen a few drop passes that really, hurt us. Don't take number 1 in the Super Bowl to drop, but
we had 3
I seen
or 4.
I seen a few of them was dropped, and over the season we was able to overcome that. They dropped something, we was able to get by that, but it seemed like it finally caught up with us that couldn't afford to have those drops in that game, and that happens.
Another thing I noticed, that me personally, I thought, of course, the offensive line gave up 7 sacks, which is unheard of. 7 sacks.
That's what we would normally.
Oh, that's what we did?
We had 7 sacks on Cam,
Yes.
so Cam hit the ground 7 times, and then the other side of that, the coaching staff didn't adjust to their defense with the play calling. I think that hurt us. They should have got him out that pocket.
So why didn't Cam run the ball?
Because he couldn't.
He goes back. They was too quick.
Where was he? He couldn't go anywhere.
Offensive their linebackers, Von Miller, one of the fastest linebackers. I mean, this guy's awesome. Him and Cam. Cam went number 1. Guess who went number 2 in the draft? Von Miller.
Von Miller.
Oh, okay.
So he's that
Exactly.
good of a player. He won the MVP of the Super Bowl, but yeah, he was just unstoppable. I hate to say it. He was awesome. So.
I think there was a psychological edge on it too. I couldn't help but compare that game, the Super Bowl game, to the game when they played Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I say that because they had just before they played Atlanta, they had just beaten the Giants, and that whole Odell Beckham debacle just kind of threw them into a tizzy. Because when they played Atlanta, I saw on both sides of the ball they were just kind of off kilter. I mean, I saw Thomas Davis miss some tackles on the quarterback from Atlanta that he would have never missed. And so that whole Odell Beckham debacle the week before, trying to argue that point and worrying about the fines, it just kind of threw him off. Now, before we played the Super Bowl, we had just blistered the Cardinals, and then that whole argument that came up about Cam trying to defend himself as being a different kind of quarterback, an African-American quarterback. I think that got into the psyche of some of them, particularly on the offense. And I think when they got on the field, it was a different game, because I got a chance to watch them and talk to them before they actually got on the field.
Oh, you talked to the football players?
Yes. And so, when you go around the stadium, you get a chance to see some of them every now and then. And so just watching them get on the field after they've had practices, it was a different team, especially on offense. Offense, because, like I said, going 17-1 and then making it to the Super Bowl and then losing that game. It was something else.
All that said, you go to the Super Bowl, there's probably a half a dozen plays that make the difference in that game.
That's true.
Yeah.
Still.
That's true.
Yeah. They had opportunities.
They had
They had
opportunities.
They did. They didn't
They had
cash them out.
opportunities. They didn't cash them. They had
But
opportunities.
we're not accustomed to getting. Cam wasn't accustomed to being hit anymore. We were the ones. Defense was knocking the balls out of quarterbacks'
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, I agree.
We were the one getting the pick sixes, but all of a sudden it's happening to us.
Like his
now
rookie
they're
season,
coming in.
all them
They're
sacks.
sacking us. We're fumbling the balls. They're running in for touchdowns. I think it took us for a loop.
Yeah, of course. Better
We
team.
just weren't ready for that.
One of the things about Cam in the Super Bowl game, and what I hope is a maturation process for him, on that fumble where he didn't go after the fumble to recover. You know, my first thought was he was thinking that it was going to be ruled an incomplete pass and that his arm was coming forward and it was not a fumble. Well, he responded to that play by saying he didn't want to get hurt. I didn't think that was the right thing to say.
Biggest game of your career.
You're in the
Leave
Super Bowl.
everything on the field.
Yeah.
You're not going to forfeit the opportunity to recover and maintain possession of the ball for fear of being hurt. You're playing football. You're making $20+ million a year. That's not what people want to hear. So I hope that's a learning opportunity for him.
And that turned a few people off. He's doing the Superman, he's doing the dabbing, he's celebrating, he's doing all this extracurricular. And then you get out there in the game and you got a little adversity in front of you where your team is losing and you don't perform your best. Like I said, people will fight you for saying something negative about the Panthers, and then you get out here and let the Panthers down.
Yeah, I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah,
And
so what is
not that
that?
he had a bad game. That to me, it was a bad play, especially after hearing his perspective on the play. That's the only thing that I saw negative from his perspective. Again, he didn't have the time to do the things that he normally does in the game. So I wouldn't hold that. I don't hold the Super Bowl against Cam or the Panthers at all.
They ran into a good defense.
Yes.
They did.
Because I want me talking about getting hurt because the way he run, ain't no other quarterback in the
happen.
league. Yeah,
That's right.
And so I fear
up,
getting hurt.
yeah.
And the way he run,
That wasn't a good answer.
he go heads
That's a
on.
good
the guy.
answer,
They have
yeah.
to.
So, are we going to Super Bowl again?
Yes.
Oh,
Without a doubt.
okay. Y'all gonna be on the field to help us?
In our minds, we're going to be cheering them on.
And
They're
you know what's
definitely
going
going to
to
get
make
that.
it happen?
What?
Cynthia, you're going to cheer them on.
Oh my God!
Another
That one vibe.
We got more room on the bandwagon.
add to Panther Nation.
Okay, I'll start watching.
All right,
Please do.
Please do.
Victory time.
We're going to win.
You know, we could go on and on talking about this, but unfortunately, we have run out of time. Will you guys come back and talk with me some more?
course.
Maybe not about football. Okay.
Sounds good.
And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching my show, A Better You, here on Public Access 21, every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. Thank you guys. Don't get upset, okay?